So, to clarify, we are Lordlin Torren of Harfalas. Harfalas culturally means we are Horondarim, which means we are hill dwellers, we are adaptive skirmishers, we have Horondor resilience, which means we can recruit rangers, which is always nice. Permaflame, thank you for the follow. It's a leap of faith. So we have Gondorian rangers. Let me know if music is too loud or anything like that, because obviously it's running through Epidemic sounds, not the normal game sound, so it can sometimes get a bit different or a bit weird. But our current kind of overarching goal here is we have actually already pledged ourselves to Gondor theoretically. But we want to become sort of ranger knights. So we have our eyes. There is a kingdom we can form if we control enough territory down here. It is Unified Havens of Merland and Ramlond. We want to be able to take that decision, which is tough because it does mean we have to repeatedly go to war against these people, who are technically speaking, they are overlorded by Sauron. So he could potentially just kind of decide to get involved. He didn't in our first war with them, but in order to do this, we're going to need at least one more with them, I think. Because we need to completely control the mouth of the Harnan. Which, if I look, it's quite hard to work out what we're missing, but we're missing this bit, I think. We need that bit. Yeah, so really we're trying to stop Sauron rolling all over Gondor. And that will be helped by if, in this run, yeah, Eowyn doesn't turn evil. Are Harazan the type of client state that lasts only through one lifetime? Not sure. We may be about to get Murdery anyway, because we've won one more against him. Which means we do have a truce, and as he's got low troop numbers, we kind of want to maximise how many wars we can get in on him. Sauron didn't come in on the last war, which was good. But yeah, where we'd left things, we'd kind of managed to expand out and grab a lot of territory around here. I think we do have a truce with the Winians, and we'd kind of like to grab that before someone else does. So we may try and get a bit murdery there. In terms of our character, our player heir is Narmanel here, who is slow and severely injured, and who hasn't really been popping out good sprogs. I mean, we've got a pretty son, but that's about it. We did get him a reasonably decent wife. We are betrothed to Avarin here, who is 12, and actually might do us quite well, but we are also 67. Now, we do have the good blood, so that does give us an extra life expectancy of 20 years, so we can expect to make it to at least 90. But we'll see how we get on. But I kind of hope we can throw out... I don't know, I mean... The thing is, right now we don't have a lot of good heir choices. We just don't. Like, 2 stupid sons, some bang average kids. It's not looking great, to be honest. Oh yeah, and our daughter's got lover's pox, so you know, that's not going to end well either. So we are kind of banking on us trying to get a good kid out. We do have 2 lovers who are preggo and have traits, so we are kind of hoping from our lovers. We are actually shagging our son's wife. So we have been doing the dirty with our son's wife in order to try and get her to have a decent kid for us. It's not worked yet, but we'll see. So, you know, we're working on the basis that if he can't give her a good kid, we might as well try and give her a good kid instead. Basically. But we'll see how we get on. We do need a new steward. And it should probably be Yvain here, who is our lover, I believe. Now, we were increasing dev. I do slightly wonder whether we should look at promoting culture. What other culture do we share here? Because the other thing we do kind of want to think about is educating kids so they pick up some good men-at-arms. Now they get Corsairs, but I don't think they get anything interesting. I do think we should maybe see if we can get Sauron on side, because Sauron is a genius. And that does mean we can kind of... if he's mates with us, I suspect he's less likely to intervene as a suzerain in the war below. But also we could just get him to educate our kids. He's got quite useful traits to us. We could give him the pretty kid, yeah. Funir. Yeah, so we got some barriers to this. But if we had a hook on the Dark Lord Sauron, we'd get away with it. The problem is you can't get him hooks on him. Sauron is less amenable to us this run. Basically. But we want to be on the lookout for cultures that can educate our kids to do well. I'll remember that our goal really, once we've formed this kingdom, is we want to try and grab Dol Amroth so we can restore the Swan Knights. No, like, even when we said, look, you can make our kid evil if you want, he's like, Sauron's like, nah, look, I am not bringing up your fucking children. And the problem is you can't sway him, which is a shame. But yeah, so we currently could, I think, go to war with that chap again pretty much straight away. We have a truce with the Relenting. We have a truce with the Serpent Lord of Harizan. Alright, so we can't go to war with him for another 5 years. And for 6 months on the other dude. So this one we can go to war on, and we should probably just make sure we've got a reason to go to war with him. Yes, we do. So in 6 months we'll go to war for that. We are over our domain limit, which is probably why we need to calm things down a bit. We need to work out what we're getting rid of. Now I suspect we want to keep hold of the High Lordship of Ramlond. This is the one that's got the nice special building, which is the Walled Haven of Ramlond, which is Dev Growth and Fort Up. So we're probably going to want to keep hold of that. But we get rid of this one, or this one. And I suspect probably Kibber. No, that's got a level 2 castle. So I think Kibber's probably best for us to keep in the longer run, because it's already level 2. Depends on whether there's any of these we want to get rid of. That's the other one with a nice special building. That gives the havens, which is the holding taxes plus 20%, which is absolute filth. And that's a decent one. I think we get rid of Celebiant. This is a mod. This is the Lord of the Rings Realms in Exile mod, which is very, very good. So I think we're probably giving Celebiant out to someone. I think at this point we can assume that we don't want Idiot Son number 2 anywhere near things, and he is already disinherited. So let's give him Celebiant. Because we might as well. Fidor is about to go to Lawmaster Goshag the Massive, which is not useful. We're having to sort of blob slightly more than we normally would this early. Just because we kind of need to. We need to get big relatively quickly. We can convert some faiths. So let's get some faith conversion going on. Yeah, I mean, this is going better than... Well, the first run went fine. We just lost the save. The second run, though, didn't go great, yeah. Right, so we will war on him very shortly. We have a claim already. I think we need to keep boosting Merlond, and I suspect we actually want to move our capital there sooner rather than later. It is Umbrian, and we worked out they don't have any units we want that we particularly want. Do they have any units we want? No. No special custom units, that's fine. Yeah, I never understood why, like, certainly my school library had a couple of, like, just kind of, like, books like that, and you'd just be like, this is amazing. And you just sit there and kind of dream about playing it, because you never thought you'd ever get enough mates together to play it, because everything was so unfashionable again by that point. But yeah, just lovely. Right, we're going to build some walls and towers here, I think. Because we need to boost this around. This is probably going to become our new capital. This will be our capital. I think. No, maybe not. We might go with Ramlond as our capital because of the fort level +4 is insane. But these two we're definitely keeping hold of as provinces. They're the core of our new kingdom, I think. We're generating decent gold. Yeah, just do something about her, but just don't let her near me. There was a Middle Ages RPG in the Fantasy people did called Maelstrom, and some of the Lone Wolf books in my school. Yeah, like, it was the stuff you just find in the library, it'd just be amazing. And we're not going to pledge allegiance, because we kind of need our stuff. Oh, it's worth noting that that the Gondor has already lost Minas Tirith. One of my servants recently experienced a personal tragedy as their beloved child died from illness. The servant is, of course, now in mourning, and a look of uttermost grief on their often tear-stained face. We'll commiserate with them. We're nice like that. Oh, speaking of, we should be plotting to do something. Let's see if we can kill him. Decent chance, why not? Because that'll kill our truce off. So yeah, so I think we need the whole of this. The Otauria of Dorant, maybe? I suspect. So we might actually just want to keep cycling a claim thing on that until we get one. My son wants to bury the hatchet. Yes, I didn't realise my son was my rival. Lately, rumours are circulating about how I had an amorous encounter with one of the common folk in a nearby village. How very dare they? Absolutely true, though. Almost certainly. Again, rumoured present child. No way. Someone is plotting to kill one of my courtiers. We probably want... We'll let him finish that religious conversion first. No, actually, let's flip him off the religious conversion. Which of these is the duchy capital? I'm never sure whether doing it on the duchy capital actually impacts whether it does it for the whole holding. It'd be that one, though. Right, so let's just keep cycling claims on that until we get something useful. We won't spend any more gold until we've done this war. I think we should be aiming to try and kind of get a bit of a gold reserve up now. Someone's plotting to kill my son and heir. Oh no, how terribly sad. Actually, no, shit. Is he... no, we need him disinherited now. Because he's got too many fucking kids. We don't have to disinherit them individually. So right now we don't have an heir. So we kind of really genuinely need some sexy times to work out here. Maybe we should find some ladies with traits to sex. Apparently she decided that kid wasn't mine. There is something peculiar about my vassal, Mayor Edher. Is it the way she smiles? She's 39 and has only no traits, so let's not get distracted by her. But let's see if we can find someone to get distracted by. We want adult. Female. Or we don't really want them being a ruler. And we want them to be fertile. Can we set fertility on this one? I don't think we can. Any sexy geniuses around? Got a Hara. Is she a useful culture? If we could seduce her and get her over and get her to educate our kid, we can get giant scorpions. I feel like giant scorpions are a thing we should have. Alternatively, we've got Morbeth the Headless here. Ooh, who is Black Numorian, and that would give us Numorian Guard. Wouldn't it? Maybe not. I could have sworn you get Black Numorian Guard that you can reduce from that. I mean, her husband might have an unfortunate accident. What about Miriam? She's Chelkar. No fun units. She's 52 and blind. If we're sexing a... She's his concubine, basically. Oh, too far away. Am I not on inside diplomatic range? That's annoying. That limits our options somewhat more. She's Haruz. And she's still fertile for a bit. Worth a go. Yeah, she's a lunatic, but we all have our flaws. Yeah, she's still got like 6 years to have a sexy baby, though. But if we sex her quick enough... Oh, she's not interested anyway. Okay, intelligent. Nerdanel, the light of the two truths. She is not going to be up for sexy times, I can tell you right now. Because these lot you can't seduce. But I don't think we can do sexy times with Galadriel. Like, sensibly the game stops you from doing that. You're the wife of him, so probably not. Miasa. Oh, we've got Ace. Yeah, actually, she'd be a good shout. If she was up for it. Not up for it. She's 16. She's not up for it. They haven't officially added elves to the game yet, but they are going to add elves to the game. I think it's coming in the next big rework is elves. But what you do get at the moment is she'd be up for it, and she's young enough. I assume he'd be murderable. Yeah, we could murder him. He's on... Do we really have no one better? Well, correction, do we have no one who likes us that's better? Apparently not. Fuck me. We can get off of dip, so we should get off of dip, I think. Let's go thoughtful, because it's useful. Do we go health? Kind of feel like we should go health, because we do need to live a little longer. Don't think there's any point in us going down Seducer. I think we go learning. We do want to live a little longer. We do need a decent heir. I think he's having a lot of internal problems at the moment. Esten Dilmay is not bad, but I think we've got male-only succession. I think. Pretty certain we've got male-only succession, which we can't change because of the religion. Now, if we had enough prestige, we could do it. I mean, at the very least, we should be on limited. Let's get on to limited. And we probably need to... How much is it going to cost us to declare this war? $125, so we do need to call a hunt. See, is it worth us legitimizing her on the... We're not going to get to a point where we can get high crown authority, though, are we? Oh, no, we might, because it's only another 24 years, so that would be our backup. Or does she not count then as our kid now? Apparently she still doesn't count as our kid. How odd. I assume she'd therefore count as our kid. What do we reckon Shallan would like? She's shy, cynical and arrogant, so something small. Can we declare on you yet? We can. We don't even need to call in our ally for this one. It's handy because it means we don't have to spend the prestige on doing so. Damn, look how good that fucking enemy commander is. Denethor managed to get himself captured by Overlord Amarurza, so that's probably not gone well. Ah, my agents had prepared for weeks. The cooks have been bribed. Look the other way. The poison has been acquired, and the duck chat was gifted to Taskral Suladan alone. Murder ducks. Wave your murder ducks if you have them. Bon appetit, Suladan. Curses, he still lives. We'll carry on. Your daughter is your responsibility, dude. Don't try and palm her off on me. Yeah, we just got 95'd as well. Well, yeah. I think she probably wants to be entertained. Yeah, well... Oh, fuck off, game. Right, we have another lover. You're planning to kill someone? Lord Androg, my son, confronts me with a horrified expression on his face. In his hand is clutching plagiarism. There's a 90... Because he's stupid, there's a 90% chance he believes us. Son, I would never. Oh man, can everyone stop having girls? I mean, the problem is our inheritance can't pass down a family line, but she would give us a girl, and she does at least have a little bit of traits. She can be Idrian. She can be Amory, and I will legitimize her. Oh, we got it! You absolute star! That makes things easier. We lost a councillor. Our chancellor, apparently. You will do nicely. Right, we are being raided. We'll go deal with that. Yeah, give that priest a frickin' prize, man. Speaking of, he can now go back to converting... There. Did we capture anyone useful? Dude, you wouldn't ransom your wife. She's pregnant. And you won't pay us 25 fucking gold for your pregnant wife. Dude. I'm telling her. Right, that's a tribal holding, so we're definitely granting out. Yeah, he's still going to have an awkward conversation with her. Right, Castamate is a good... He'd actually potentially be a good steward. Have we got anyone who'd be... Yeah, here we go. You'll do nicely. Because you're going to like us now, and you will absolutely be a better spy master than our idiot son. I feel like there's value to us in... Like, why can't he just die? It'd be really useful to us if he'd die. He's not going to, but it'd be really useful to us if he'd die. Right, we're trying the duck again. We're going for duck again. A bon appetit, Soledad. Oh, come on. Maybe we should stop trying to poison his duck. I feel like the man is good on duck. You call her what you want. She's a useless child. Well, that's twice now. That's ridiculous. We're not admitting that that one's ours. Well, the mayor has killed off the truce. So the question becomes, we don't actually have enough prestige to do it. I mean, he's losing a war against Sauron in the artifact camp, so Sauron can't defend him. The problem is I don't think we can go for it. We need 200. We do also need that as well, so maybe we should... Yeah, we are just getting XCOM'd on the boys. We really need a boy. A good boy. We need stuff that's going to give us... prestige. But I'm not doing that until we got enough to pay for wine. Oh, hang on, I know what will give us prestige. We can create a title, can't we? 200. Do we legitimize... Oh no, you just get disputed heritage because of the marriage. The problem is we need to kill her husband. No, it's no good to us because it'll just be disputed heritage because we need to kill her husband. And because this frickin' murder keeps cycling, which technically we don't need now. So if this doesn't work this time, we're not repeating it. Right, let's try poisoning his drink. Right, we finally got him. Okay, that means our lover's husband needs to die. Yeah, it turns out the trick was not to use a dart. No, not to... You, sir. are not long for this world. Oh dear, how sad indeed. Right, create the High Lordship. Kid, sorry about this, but you are giving us all of that. And I mean, we don't even need to call in our ally again, which is really handy. And we might need to get that. Let's call in our ally just because it's useful. Which of these is it Lawmaster Mamadil who's got the reasonable amounts of troops? Narakzam's too far away to really be useful anyway. It's 150. That's fine. Come on in. So we are currently doing Epidemic Sounds, Epic. I've got the criteria set to Epic, Suspenseful, I think. Right, let's start there. I feel like the moment we can afford them, we should create some trebs. I think it would help. We are now athletic. That is useful to us. Good evening, Minpin Kitty. Right, Handley, he is down there, but it comes down to whether he's going to get that siege before we get this one. Which he might. We'll see. Do we need culture acceptance gain? We are going to need to create a merged culture, but it won't be with this guy. Let's reduce our illness chance. If we're lucky, he'll go down and deal with him. Let's see if we pull it off. Oh dear, how sad. He died. Right. Hey, lover. Get over here. Now, someone give me a usable boy. That sounded wrong. Tea! I am actually not drinking tea right now. I am actually drinking a glass of white wine, but if I was drinking tea, I would probably be drinking Digester. So do buy some Digester and help the stream out. Bird and Blend are excellent for tea. I also recommend Smoky Russian. I need to get them to send me some more stuff. I might get them to send me some Smoky Russian. And Morning Kick. If you're trying to drink less coffee, Morning Kick is your friend. Really good tea. Repetric, good evening. You have your Murder Disco emote, the level 2. Excellent Murder Disco emote. Enjoy. It is a truly wonderful emote. Right, shall we go kill these guys? Do we actually have a better... Do we really not have a better commander than that? That's outrageous. Can we steal that siege? We can, can't we? If we kill them, we get that siege. I feel that is a useful thing for us to do. Yes, we stole the siege. Big Smoke is really, really nice. Big Smoke is lovely. And thematically London. Right, let's kill him. Do you want to follow and help, please? Thank you. Well, let's rip his entire army. Oh, you know what we do need to do is... Right, when he's finished... Chat, remind me in 13 months that we need to get a claim on that. In the meantime, let's carry on building eco-buildings here. Because this is the one that's going to get the special boost when we build the extra building. Yeah, siege theft is a hand... You can't do it. So you can't steal a siege off of a raiding... a group that's raiding. You can steal a siege off of a group that is... doing a proper siege, basically. Right, we're going to have to go kill them. I kind of don't want to do it until they've finished that siege. Are they going to get that siege first? She's got the Great Pox. That's not good news. Because they might go and kick them off. Well, they're going to go and kick them off, which is worse. Dangerous faction. Oh, it's just peasant rabble, that's fine. This sparked bizarre question, I know, but have they changed the font that the number of troops in an army is displayed in? Yes, they've gone for a slightly Lord of the Ringsy font. I think we're going to stick and finish this. All hail! All hail our new High King, Aragorn. Annoyingly, Sauron is going to steal that siege. I am now the Spy Master of Gondor. The return of the king in a grand ceremony in Minas Tirith. Not in Minas Tirith, unless maybe Sauron rented it to them for the day. In a grand ceremony in Minas Tirith, Aragorn II, heir of Isildur and chieftain of the Dunedain of Arnor, has been proclaimed King of Gondor, High King of the Dunedain in exile, Lord of the West. He has proven his identity beyond all doubt, bearing Anduril, Narsil reforged, and his claim has been accepted by the lords and people of Gondor. Spy Master of Gondor. Renewed shall be the blade that was broken, the crownless again shall be king. Can we steal that sword off of him? Fabricating a hook would be a good idea. No, why would you leave? We had that siege. Can you, like, seriously, Sauron, can you just not siege down that stuff? Oh, hang on, that's not Sauron, that's, that's him. Right, let's go knock him down. And the reinforcements are coming, so we will pull it off. The problem is we've maxed out battle score, so we need stuff. Claim timer, thank you very much. It's that one we needed to claim on. Right, we're going to go deal with those peasants. My daughter-in-law, Erwin, has been showing the signs of pregnancy for some time now. My suspicions about me being the father of the child has grown in tandem with her stomach. Now I know for certain, as does the rest of the realm, the child is mine. That might actually work out alright for us if it's a decent kid. Right, let's go kill these peasants. Aragorn. So I'm not sure if we can modify our council rights. Right. You're actually a relatively decent soldier. So I think we may... Would you like to join my service? No, you're going to be a dick. Right, you can stay in prison then. I mean, yeah, we are super sinful, but, I mean... I do like his eyeshadow. The kid's got good eyeshadow. He clearly thinks he can win that. And he can. That's good. Yeah, like, we're doing this because we've got stupid sons. Ramlond is going to be our new capital. Which means we're probably going to want to... Let's do that. Boo! Boo. Right, let's cancel that. Hey, look, chill, Aragorn, no hard feelings, yeah? We'll cycle this, because we don't need it super urgent. Like, we just need the occupations on this now. Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. That was why I was going for the hook, because we should have been able to change our contract. I'd really like council rights. Oh, mind you, we can't, because it needs to be both of us. We've both already changed our contract, so... Until I die, I can't change the contract again anyway. Game? Game? Game may have crashed, you know. Let's try reloading. Is Aragorn married to Arwen? He normally does. There you go, that's better. Let's see. He is, and they have a son, Prince Eldaron. Oh, seriously, stop having daughters. You're a rubbish daughter anyway. Sons just... Take that for the piety, because actually the piety is really useful to us. I just want some sons. What we are going to need to get off of Aragorn is the ability to... Right, we're going to educate her on the basis that worst comes to the worst, we might live long enough to be able to put her into the succession. We can marry her now. And kind of have to. So we might just get some official sons. They'll just be bland sons. There is nothing wrong with my gametes. I have excellent gametes. Let's cycle that once more. As I say, we're not in a rush because we're already in a war, so... Kind of hoping that when we get this, that'll be enough. Not quite, but we can go kill him. Essentially, unsieging these will be enough. Which kind of comes down to whether we unsiege them fast and he does that, and we probably won't, so let's go kill him first. There should be a thing where you can turn around and go, no, it's fine, don't follow me, carry on that siege. Yeah, we'll go for a night at the theatre. Right, now we'll take that. We'll do that. It's going to drive us into debt, but not for long. And we can ransom someone anyway. Ooh. So that's fine. We should put God tier priest onto stuff. Increase control. Stuff we control. Please increase control in. Convert faith. There. How are we looking at buildings here? Can we push anything up a level? 213 to go up a level on that. Well, then maybe we should just save for that. The sooner we get that, the better. Now we're getting somewhere. So if I'm right, we only need that bit now, and we'll be able to form the kingdom. I think. We need to get to Illustrious as well, but we're not far off Illustrious, that's fine. Yep, just need that bit. We've got all of that. Just need that. So we just need Sauron to not get involved in our next war. And we'll be okay. Yeah, we are the Butterfly Kingdom. But we do need to get to Illustrious. So let's call a hunt. This lot are going to be rebellious, I guarantee you. My idiot son has given me a flower. Yeah, fine. Fine, idiot son. So how short are we on Illustrious? Yeah, we only need 500 more. We can do that. That is not a problem. Our wife is preggo. We do apparently have a trinket. It increases our fertility. Yeah, okay. Oh, we have the beautiful rolling hoop, which is of 0 use to us right now. Right. I think we... Do we save? Maybe we build tax offices first. Do we reckon we're going to get more benefit from stacking a 10% on then on the further 20% boost? We probably are, aren't we, rather than going for the 0.8? Oh, come on! God damn it. We just got an unpressed claim on Annan, which is there. Let's not go to war with... We don't want to do that because he's our ally. Tolfas is our ally. So I don't think we want to do that yet. Yeah, the beautiful rolling hoop is kind of our version of the Ring of Power, absolutely. Is everyone doing councillor things? Yes. You didn't do that in Harfalas. We don't really want that anymore, do we? That's got Dev 22. We really need Dev there. Can you flip to getting some cultural promotion going on in there, please? I think that's more useful to us at this point. Let's just shag her. One of these boosts, that's development boost. One rolling hoop to rule them all. You, sir, should not be here. How very dare you. I'd lose the trait cynical. Let's not do that. Oh, old lady is disappointed in me. He's decent. Why couldn't he be mine? I just need a baby. I need a baby. Right, seriously chat, what are we doing with the ducal building here? We're probably going to get more value. Do we get more value about going royal reserves? Or from just going for the flat tax boost, which presumably is then going to stack with the other tax boost? Probably that, isn't it? Tax orifices. Don't make me come over there and kill you, because I will. So in tax boost terms, this is going to boost all of the holding taxes by 10%, and then it scales to 20. The special building we can truck there is the Havens of Merlond, which can only go to one level and is an instant 20% boost. So it's essentially a top tier version of that straight away. The alternative is we build Royal Reserves, which give an opinion boost and a dev growth boost, but only scale to 1.4. Instinctively, I think we're better off going for the double boost on percentages. Because we can boost tax by upgrading the castle. And by pushing farms and fields right up over time. And through the pastoral lands. And we'll get a boost off of the walls. So I just think that's going to deliver more value in the long term than the incremental boost we get off of just boosting that. Oh dear, how sad, Dead Son. Was that the one whose wife I was shagging? Yes, it is. Nice. If she has any more kids, they'll be mine. Can we not basically kick my daughter out because she's sitting there with the great pox? Yeah, that's the thing. Is I think because my tax will get over 8, it's going to be worth it. Sure. That's the guy who's all the way down there, so we really don't care. We probably should be educating her. Or someone should be educating her. Probably my mad lawmaster. Now, do we build this? No, I think for best value we build this first because of the building construction reduction. Oh, we're going to have to split up with someone. No, because we can take, There we go. We still need a good kid. I'm not splitting up with anyone. Recruit Hill Specialist? I think that's probably worth it. Yeah, because we now got a decent marshal out of it. I think he might need to die. Anyone want to get involved on that? No. You're only going to give us a 1 intrigue boost. I think we just have to hope. Kind of hope we get away with it. The one thing we can do is where's Randir? Okay, Randir's relatively nearby, but it's safe territory. So that's probably not a bad thing. That child we could legitimise because he's lowborn, can't we? So we could get a beautiful baby. I mean, it's better than no male heir. Gil-galad. Terrible name, but we can rename ourselves when we're older. But at least he's pretty. No, I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll the dice and gamble. The High Lordship of Erezavan. Hello. Not hugely useful to us. Too far away. I think that's a good marriage for us. Because he does have a fair few troops now, and I do slightly worry that he might get away with them. Oh great, my daughter recovered from the Great Pox, yay. Star of Radiance, is that what it means? You really like the map colour spectrum. Yeah, they've done a really good job of the colours in this, I have to say. Right, come on chat, we're gambling on this. The game owes us after all of those 95% that have failed. Come on, game. No, we'll give it another go. Mordor is big. My entourage and I are strolling back from a short foray into Falasdoon when we unexpectedly crossed my mare. Right, we are now illustrious, so we do just need that bit of territory. Fuck me. Oh, come on. We're going to lose Ramlond. Because fucking Aragorn's going to lose it. Umbar's going to steal our territory. Motherfuckers. Fucking Umbar, man. Aragorn, come down here and do something about this shit. Fuck you, game. May you grow up to be strong and wise in prison. Yep, it's a jail, baby. Aragorn, send some fucking troops down here. Problem is he's fighting other wars. It's not the end of the world. We've got enough territory up here now to deal with this shit. It just means we might have to take on Umbar, which means we're going to need to kill King Casimir. Right, we need to flip. Give me some skullduggery boosts. And I suspect we can do multiples. We can do multiples, can't we? Because we've got twice schemed. Through my efforts to become a truly feared and respected figure, a vast number of guilty and disloyal persons have ended up in my dungeon. In my macabre machinations, I envision a forest of impaled lowlifes and traitors surrounding Phalastuin on all sides, a grim reminder to everyone of what happens when the Lord is betrayed. I see Kato on a spike surrounded by commoners. Oh yeah, we're going impaled forest. Alright, it accuses all of our subjects to lose 20 opinion though. It's not worth it for that. It's not worth it. It is an actual murder disco, but it's not worth it. Right, at least we got a 95-95 on killing him. Oh, come on! Fucking game, man. This game has decided it hates us. Fëanor is pretty. Right, Fëanor here is our backup son. Right, at least that guy's dead. Ooh, hello. Okay, we now have some kids. I feel like we can let some lovers go now. She's 42 and she's only going to give us those traits anyway. No, I don't think we do. We just don't necessarily acknowledge kids. Someone else will come in on this. Right, watch us not get this. Right, well at least he's dead. I think our issue here is going to be getting this land back. Because there's no way for us to end this war. All we can do is keep weakening Umbra in the hope that they get warred on or fragmented so that we can then jump on them and get the territory back. That is a good shout. That is a really good shout. That is an absolute genius shout, Lord of Alba. That's so crazy, it might just work. don't think we can invite anyone in. It's not far off maximum, so I think we're just essentially in the hands of the gods on it. What's this actually for? Oh great, doesn't matter. If Sauron's going to war for our territory anyway. Alright, we're not out yet. Hey look, Westfold Vale. Interesting. I just joined the wrong war. In your fucking face. Right. Does this come down to which bits of this kingdom title he's going for? I mean, there's 12k there. We've got 9-ish, I've got 3. Yeah, abducting Sauron is not an option. You shouldn't be able to go to war for a title that's not yet created, surely. Hold up, there's a way round this, but we're not going to pull it off in time. That decision would get us round it, but we're not going to get it in time. Because it would create a brand new title. And all our lands would be de jure to that title, not to the original. And the problem is we're already at war with him because he came in, so we can't go directly to war with him. Oh shit, it's independent! Water baby! Troops! Kill the baby! No, they're going to kill us. Sauron's going to fucking come to us because we joined that war. Oh, no. We're so close to pulling this off. And Sauron stole our standard. It's because Sauron's troops are too close. Hang on, no, there is still a chance. Sauron won't be at war with our allies. Come over here. Kill them. Fucking kill them. Go, 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 go. Go, siege it. No, siege that. Siege that. Siege that fucking place. Don't piss off Sauron. Literally all I need you to do is siege that. Yes, go. Siege it. No, Sauron, leave him alone. Sauron, stay over there. Sauron, please. No! Fucking stay there! Oh! No! All you needed to do was siege that. Just siege that. That's all you need to do. Don't do anything else. No, there. Go there. No, it's too late. We're going to lose it. Motherfucker. That's all we needed. The AI had it. It just needed to stay there. For like 3 months. Yeah, I do feel like we should at least see if we've got a save we could reroll. Like, what was that one at the point? Where was that one? Umbra, you need to fucking die. I'm still not sure how that works. He shouldn't be able to war for a kingdom title that doesn't exist. Because it's just furiously OP. I think you can do it in the base game as well. It's just ridiculously OP and shouldn't be a thing, to be honest. The issue is we're kidless. We should actually recruit Hill Specialists now. Right, cycle that. The main problem is it might not break free this time. Denethor Namoliath is now joined our court, who is a better general. You could go kill them, that'd be useful. Right, I think we just need to unsiege that and we've got this. Yeah, the problem is that the good one to get kids from... No, I might get good decent kids from her. I think the thing is we really need to boost our troop numbers because we need to be in a position where we can help Aragorn win a war. Right, so we do want this kid to die. Oh, I'm so salty. If that ally had just finished that siege, we'd have pulled off the greatest kind of escape we could possibly have pulled off. The other thing we're going to do is... I think there is generally a lot of value in us having other people's kids in prison. I've done that because that is potentially a usable heir. Yeah, what have we got in terms of traits? I don't think there's anything else really on there we want. Let's go intrigue. Anyone want to help us kidnap this child? Is that a no? Or was that just they came in naturally? You will. Cycle that. It's free. Oh, we should have just gone for it. Right, we need to go for that when it came up. Wonder what the conditions are. Oh no, it's not free yet. It's not free yet. That's worth a go. We're being raided. How about we don't get raided? Yeah, go away. Stay out. Can you use the integrate title steward option that's hiding in the second column? I think I can. I don't think I need to. That just gives us disputed heritage, which isn't useful. She's still doing dev. We're better off doing promote culture on Merlond now. Oh, it's got 5 months. Chat, remind me in 5 months that we can do a dev boost. That we need to switch her to culture. Right, he's dead. So theoretically we could war him again. I feel like we take a save and maybe gamble on warring him again. Because we can get that claim shortly. Because this basically comes down to whether Sauron comes in. Which he hasn't. He should be doing convert religion now. Our wife is preggo. Even if she turns out a bland kid, as long as this one's not sterile, we'll potentially take it. Like, because if we can keep this kid in jail, it means if he does declare, nice. Idiot son was shagging our daughter. I mean, I'm not sure what he sees in her. Maybe he's just into great poxy lunatics. Of course we got a daughter. Right, promote culture. She should really be dead. Idiot son is already out of the inheritance, so we can just ransom him. It's just free money. You can stay in jail, because I suspect it's helping me. Unless I can take your title, which I don't think I can. Oh, you've got a lot of money. I'll ransom you. Oh dear, how sad. Right, the good news is we're shagging his wife. Or his ex-wife, rather. His widow. I think he's just lost a chunk of territory. Yeah, mind games can be quite revealing. Should we call an ally in on this? Because we could do with speeding it up a bit. Could you kidnap the convert heirs to intentionally destabilize your larger enemies? Yes, absolutely could. Absolutely could. That's a very good point. I mean, we're basically trying to kidnap this heir, so that we will have him in prison. So that if this guy declares on Gondor for our territory, but I think you're absolutely right, is what we will do is if he turns adult, we'll convert religion and then leave him in jail. Umbra is looking dangerous. Basically, we really need to eco-dev and we need to boost our... We need to go on a frantic period of development. If we could kidnap the... Who's the heir to his kingdom? He has a baby heir as well. Low chance of abduction on him. I mean, what annoys me is Aragorn is Sauron last time went to war with Gondor for this, when he could easily have just gone for these instead. I think Umbra is the danger. What we could really do with is an alliance with the Tajan Confederacy. I mean, probably can just murder the baby. We've got a decent chance. We might as well. We can do two schemes at once, so... I think what we need to do is we really need to start getting some shit going on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. God damn it. I'm going to ransom him just so I'd like to not be in debt. Yeah, we have so many daughters. Like, if we can get hold of Dol Amroth as well, which is ultimately one of our goals, then we'll be fine. We just need to get to a point where we've got enough troops to be able to fight this. You might as well go Dreadful. I mean, we've got a decent chance of pulling that off. I mean, that's a good question. The main issue is that it's male heir only, so I don't think we could marry our way in and successfully steal the crown. Because if you look at the inheritance chain... Now what we could do is we could marry our way in. The alternative is we... So his primary heir is him. If she was to die in an unfortunate accident... Can we engineer ourselves onto the throne of Dol Amroth? So we can go High Crown Authority in 3034. At that point, we could make a daughter inherit. So if now we can because we could do it in 2 generations, we just couldn't do it in 1. What's the blue thing in the middle of Mordor? That is a big fucking lake. Big frickin' lake. Hold up, chat. I've got an idea. How killable is she? She's very killable. That's his only kid. He's not going to matrilineally marry her to... Because they're marrying down. Right, we may be able to do this. We may be able to do this. But let's finish at least one of our abductions first. And then I'll talk you through my thinking. Right, dead baby. He's going to get that, but we'll get it back. Because we've got ticking from that, so... It is probably time that we split up with someone. Who do we want to split up with? Yavian? Maybe we want to keep Shallan because she's got the best traits. Might have to be Erwin. Because Yavian's our steward, so it's probably better that she keeps liking us. This plus this, I think, will be enough. Which is good, because we're now starving. Don't need to do it, we're already at maximum. Right. You get somewhere where you've got supply. Okay, spot on. Oh no, how sad. Because I don't think I can just break that betrothal. If he'll enter my court. I can. But I can't arrange his marriage. That's interesting. Is that because... Oh, it's the blood restriction, isn't it? So we're fine. Yeah. So as long as I keep him around until he's 30, we're fine. Oh yeah, only 20 because he's of the younger type. Right, so I need him not to leave the court. And the easiest way for us to do that is to make him something. So let's give him a shitty title. He'd be terrible at that. He'd be an average tutor. He'd be a good bodyguard. Oh shit, that's annoying. Well spotted. Right, well I guess we're not abducting Umbar's kid. So you just need to get murdered then. Sorry kid. That's my fault. So we just need to be illustrious now. And we need 250 prestige for that. Are we marrying her for any particular reason? Oh yeah, no, that gives us that alliance, so... Right, we just need the money. So basically, here's my thinking. Here's my thinking. Let's just see what faction this is. Peasant rabble, that's fine. So we now have his primary heir, our bodyguard. If we matrilineally marry him to our daughter, and then we flip our inheritance so daughters can inherit, we could have our daughter inherit our kingdom, they would have a kid, he would inherit Dol Amrith, and then we kill him, suicide ourselves when our young ruler's old enough, if we've got a son, and they will have inherited both titles. So we would have bloodless cooed into Dol Amroth. We can call a hunt as well, which will do it. I can claim my liege's title. Has he created it, the little shit? He did it for me. Motherfucker. Aragorn, you shit. That's my title. Fucking Aragorn, man. Oh, that's annoying. Right, what are the ways we can persuade him to give us that title? Can we petition him for it? I mean, he's busy losing a war against Sauron at the moment, so... Interestingly, he's already my faith, which just makes sense, I suppose. The same shared culture, isn't it? Umbar. Yeah, what's he trying to claim? He's going for High Chieftain Garn's Dagger, which gives you prowess +1 and hostile scheme power +2. That's sure, Sauron. I kind of feel like I want to load that again. Because I want us to be able to take the decision. Because I want us to be able to read the decision and see the interesting flavour. Because that's part of the fun. We just have to make sure we're illustrious before we take the territory, because then we can we can hit the button before the AI will. Like, how far back is that? Okay, we need to not win this war yet. Right, we need to find our prestige before we finish this war. So we need speedy ways to get prestige. And we need to not siege that down, because we need this war to last a while. Does setting sail give us prestige? I don't know. Fighting his armies will give us prestige. Going on a hunt will give us prestige, and holding a feast will give us prestige. The thing is, we kind of want to stay on this track for the agent acceptance. And we need less than 300 prestige. Don't think any of these are going to give us prestige. Don't want to do that. That might be enough. We've done it. Okay, we are illustrious. If we win this war, we can push the button before the AI does. Right, just stay and siege it down, you fucking idiot. I didn't need the help. Aragorn can't steal it off us this time. We really need to build some trebuchets. We do now have a sun. It's a very dull sun, but it is a sun. Yeah, for someone who's like, oh, I don't really want to rule Gondor. Oh no, Anborn, please don't die, honest. I'll be so disappointed, Anborn, if you die. No, no, please don't. Anyone remember why I'm murdering this baby? Yeah, they'll be trying to kill someone in my court. I'm not fussed, to be honest. Shouldn't this be firing? It's ready. Is this bugged out? I feel like that scheme's bugged out. Oh, I got some armor. I don't think we had any armor. We do now. Unify the havens of Merland and Ramlond. For many generations, Ramlond and Merland have sparred over control of the riverine trade of the Harnan. However, if the two havens could be brought together under a single lord, they could achieve a stranglehold on all trade desiring to enter Harad through the Harnan. Let us bury the past and march forward together to the future, richer and stronger than before. We get Kingdom of Merland. Merland and Ramlond shall put aside their old rivalries and unify into a new kingdom. Powerful trading kingdom controlling the mouth of Harnan. We get the governorship of Merland. That becomes de jure of that. It gets a dev boost. Nice. An end to the rivalry of old into a bright future. The Merland Court. As Prince, you have new duties and responsibilities. You will now be expected to regularly hold court, solve the disputes of the realm, and letting your courtiers take part in daily life. Means we get a Masterwork banner. We will not go yet. Right, let's see if we save and load, whether we can kick that abduction scheme into working. If not, we will just have to abort it. But we are now the princedom of Merlon. Kingdom of Westward Vale is not looking healthy. Aidmir's not doing brilliantly. Although he does now have the... Alright, so... interesting, so they're now protected by Gondor. Sauron is a problem. Right. So the question becomes... I feel like we deserved a better colour. We need a lot more troops. We need a lot more troops. Right, let's go to our... let's hold court. Hold a feast. Gain some dread. Strong hook will do. Plowshares to swords. 5 years. I'll give him the funds. We'll make it back in 2 months. Evening, Zedan. Goodbye, Zonahedron. Enjoy your day. Right, so... right, let's regroup. This isn't going to fire, so we might as well quit it. We can't abandon schemes that are finished or are frozen. Right, so how do we unfreeze it? Game. I think what we need to do is plot to murder. Plot to murder. Right, that killed it off. Cancel. Cancel. Umbra is problematic. That kid needs to die. That kid needs to be in my dungeon. Sauron is attacking for what? Lebanon. Sauron is just too powerful in this mod. I don't know how you deal with Sauron. Like, I love the mod, but all of our runs are just ending because Sauron is just too powerful. There needs to be stuff that either slows Sauron's advance down, or gives you event-based ways of weakening him. Yeah, I just need to be able to send some hobbits at him. Because the AI is not smart enough to be able to handle Sauron on its own. So you end up in a situation where you can either... like... if you play as a major, maybe you can pull it off, but... it's kind of limiting if you've always got to play as a major. I think playing as Gondor, you just get a couple of decent alliances and then you can guide. Because you just need to knock Sauron back a bit. So he's not quite so... If you can keep him down to about 20k troops, whilst playing as Gondor, I suspect you can do it because you're smarter than the AI. But the AI just isn't smart enough to fight a war from a losing position. Like, the AI can't fight a war from a losing position, it just can't. And that's true in vanilla as much as it is in this. Because like, I could win this war against Sauron. Because I'd kill that lot, and then I'd go for that lot. But Aragorn can't win this war, because he's not smart enough. I should probably have taken it, actually. Well done to that guy for unifying that. But can we move our way up? It feels like when you get the Byzantine Empire with full troops money and you can just roll anywhere you want. I mean... as I say, the issue is there's just no way to deal with Sauron. And because he doesn't die, he just always snowballs. I think what it needs is, it needs an alternative to assassination. Like, it's totally fair that you can't assassinate Sauron. What you should be able to do is almost temporarily weaken or wound him in some way that just gives him a bunch of negative modifiers that make him weak for a while, so that the surrounding powers have a chance to draw breath and or win a bit of territory back. So there's sort of the equivalent of Original Age, his hand being cut off and losing the One Ring. Like, you should be able to make him lose the One Ring again. Like, an equivalent event to that weakens him temporarily, that it then takes him time to build from. And then he enters a period of gathering his forces. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, is restricting his CBs would do it. Because the issue at the moment is he just sits there and he's now just flinging kingdom level claims out. Because he's always got the prestige to do it. So he just sits there and goes, I'm having this kingdom and I'm having this kingdom. Like, Sauron should be a slow sweep of evil, so you've got time to build and come back and stop him. Because Sauron with 23k troops is beatable. Ultimately. But Sauron snowballs from day one. Like, he's about to take all of that. He's taken that whole kingdom. Now, I can get us up to 10k troops in 40 years, let's say. But in that time, Sauron's going to have added another 10k. Yeah, or Gondor needs an event that allows them to get event troops that's equivalent to kind of... Yeah, and see, by the time I've got that, Gondor will be down to like 6k and they'll be warred on by everyone else. Because remember, all of Sauron's frickin' vassal lords can declare on him as well. The other way to do it would be to stop Sauron's vassals shouldn't be able to fight independent wars. Then the downside of that is that it becomes not fun playing the vassals. I like that he had a wife. It's like his wife Jan. She's like Jan, the blind sorcerer. But that's my point, Belgian Cats. I don't think the good side can win this unless you play as Gondor. Like, I really like this mod. I really like this mod. I just think they have to find a way of stopping Mordor, like, just exploding like it does. Like, what's the time? It's time 7 o'clock, I reckon. So look, if I save this, it's just too skewed towards Mordor sweeping everything. There's no effective mechanism if you're not playing as a major to stop Mordor sweeping everything. So by the time you get to a position as a minor where you can do anything fun, Mordor's already snowballed and you can't do anything about it. Whereas if there was a mechanism where once I've got to a certain level of power or something else, I can kick off an event chain that just forces Sauron back into his box. But maybe he loses everything that isn't de jure Dominion of Mordor. Which resets him back to his original borders. That would do it as well. There's no mechanism to throw hobbits at him. I need a mechanism to throw hobbits at him. Yeah, let me load hobbits into trebuchets and fire them at Mordor. Because, like, look, I bet you I can win as this. Did I Iron Man it? I didn't mean to Iron Man it. But that's what I mean, Repetric. I don't think you I get why they don't want you to eliminate Sauron, and I think that's totally fair. I know exactly how I can kill Sauron, by the way, even within this mod. Yeah, I think that's it, Lord of Elbris. Like, you can't start as anything lower than a major vassal. Yeah, like, you know how to kill Sauron. But I can't start as anything other than a major vassal. And have any chance of getting the full flavour out. Which is a shame, because like, I really like that we had that ability to do all of that stuff down there. But there's no point playing that any further than forming that kingdom, because there's nothing we can do to stop Mordor. Do we get any cool events? See, like, Gondor gets to call upon the Oath of Eel. What's the not having ring trait he has that limits his combat ability? He can't command armies. Sauron can't command armies. Southern Rangers was super fun. I really enjoyed the little kingdom we built there and the way we had to build it. And that's really fun. So yeah, so like, as Gondor, we've got options. We get the recover Harandor stuff, which is cool. We completely control Ithilien and Pinath Gelin. We can destroy Mordor. That's interesting. That's a handy one to know about. To me, the fun of this mod would be all the stories that didn't make it into the canon. That's the fun of it for me, and I love that they've got all of that depth in it. Yeah, or knocking down Sauron's levy size. Like, I love how much the depth to this mod is amazing. I highly recommend this mod. It is so much fun. There's so many little things to discover. But the issue is just, as a player not playing Gondor, you have no way of buying breathing room against Mordor. Like, there needs to be an equivalent to the Destroy Mordor action that is just something like Hurt Mordor or something that has some things that are achievable as a player that allow you to just force Mordor, like to force Sauron to lose a bunch of levies temporarily, because Sauron staying at that size is proportionate and good. That would just cap Sauron. Sauron shouldn't be able to ever have more than 20,000 troops. At 20,000 you can beat him. Like, we're playing Gondor right now. Faramir. I'd really like you to marry someone. Oh, we can't marry them yet, can we? Because of the age restrictions. I'm assuming he event marries. Cannot marry. Yeah, okay, so he's bound for an event. Which makes sense. Like, as Gondor, we could hold him in. Guarantee you we could hold him in. We could contain him. The events will fire, they'll do what they do. Gaze into the Palantir of Minas Arnor. The not I am in an activity trigger is active. Is this the thing that drives him mad? That's the thing that drives him mad, isn't it? Let's just do that because we can. We get some event troops. Amongst the coveted artifacts hidden within Minas Tirith is the Palantir of Minas Arnor. Wrought in the ancient west by Fëanor, and 7 seeing stones were gifted to Amandil of Andúli by the elder of Tol Eressë as comfort to the faithful as the shadow fell upon Númenor. Brought to Middle-earth by Anarion, the Anor stone has not been used since the fall of Minas Ithil as the Witch King. For the wise of Gondor deemed the danger too great. Its very existence has for centuries been a secret of the ruling stewards, who fear that should its location be revealed, the enemy shall seek to steal its power. We gaves into it. Pulled forward into the haze of the Palantir, you fly among the woodlands and over the river Anduin, seeing all that wander and gather in the boundless forest. You perceive rangers on scouting missions. You gaze upon a tribe of rosing Uruks, and as your foresight moves southward, you begin to understand the design of an enemy incursion. There are many and speak in a tongue most unkind, but their objective becomes clear to you. They mean to raid and rob the Athelian roads, harassing the supply lines destined for the outer defence of the realm. You send word of this to your castellan, who in turn sends a rider eastward towards the warn the rangers of Athila. Through your foresight, a great debacle has been averted. So nothing happens? Or do we have to keep looking? Oh, I see. It gives you different potential bonuses each time. Yeah, that's quite cool. Nice. That's a little repeatable event you can do. That's really cool. I like that. Development minus 80. Beautifully done. It's a gorgeous mod. Like, it's a lovely mod. I just think you can't enjoy its full loveliness. You can't enjoy its full loveliness because you can't play mine. It feels a bit like when you play like a minor power in Hearts of Iron 4, you are really, really dependent on kind of the luck of how the major powers play. Like if the major powers fall in a certain way, then you just sit there and go, oh, well, that runs over. And it feels a bit like that with this. But I've been playing this off stream as well occasionally. I've been picking up and playing bits. And I think maybe 1 out of 8 I've seen the AI Gondor hold on against Mordor. And that's just problematic. Like, there needs to be a way for you as the player to... Even if... There needs to be a way for you as the player, if you're playing as a miner, to help Gondor stand firm. Even if it's like a decision that you can make that essentially just does like we just had for Denethor there, which is just gives some event troops. That would do it. Like, I suspect if we played as Dol Amroth, we'd be alright, but we'd have to start as Dol Amroth, and I'd much rather say, for example, start as him and scheme for Dol Amroth. But then you know by the time you've done that and taken that over, you're too late again. Or do the run we talked about where you start as like someone over here And we go, right, well we have to look into the Seeing Stone. So yeah, I don't know what to do with it. Because I want to play this mod. I want to play more of it, but I can't just... There's no point if Mordor's just going to spiral each time. Like, short of consoling it so that you kind of... Or setting up a save. You could set up a save, for example, where you start as Gondor and take some territory. So you as the player have strengthened Gondor. I mean, I think Riddermark plus Gondor would just... You'd have enough. Like, because, for example, if we want to go with the Destroy Mordor, we need to control Pinneth Gelin and Ithilien. So you could go, for example, for that. Go for that. Get the rest of that. Take Minas Morgul back. Yeah, the AI is not good enough at fighting an ally war. That's your problem. Like, the alternative is to start somewhere just like you play down here and you just ignore everything that's going on up there. You just play the whole game down in this section and have fun down here, which is cool. But in terms of a story setup, you want to be able to kind of go, right, like that we started doing with that over there. Which is, I like the idea that Gondor can fall and there is a way back. And I don't think there is in this game, in this mod at the moment. I think either Gondor wins its first couple of wars and then you're fine. Which I think kind of happened in our very, very first attempt at this. When we were doing down here. But because Sauron doesn't die, he just snowballs. I like his little throne room. Little dude's the Overlord chilling there. Got a bunch of orcs hanging around. I think that's all it needs. I think it just... There needs to be more penalties for Sauron. To stop him getting... Like, he's got limited domain. Because he gets a -7 from that, which is obviously meant to limit him. So that helps. But it doesn't stop him just picking up general vassal troops. With that, they didn't use the eye instead of this body. Well, I think, to be fair, you've got to do what you can with the game engine. Like, I don't even mind. Actually, what you kind of need, because again, I totally get that they want to make it really, really accurate. But what you kind of need is almost an event that fires for the player when the game starts. If you're not playing as a major, it's a bit like, again, like Hoi4's tick box is, do you want to play historical or not? And it's just a thing that kind of pops up and gives you a flavour event that would allow you to impose greater limits on Mordor, so that you've got time to actually react and do stuff. Could we weaken Sauron by attacking his vassals? Only if we start as a vassal of Sauron. Like, one way we could legitimately do it would be to do exactly the same start we did last time. In a run. Yeah, just how many years are Mordor's truces are 3 times the length of a regular truce. Like, the if you are this faith, if you are the cult of the lidless eye, or make it a cultural limit or something, that just quadruples the truce time for anyone of that. Or, like I say, I think genuinely something that make a huge difference is if the player isn't playing as a vassal of Sauron, that the vassals can't declare war outside of that. Because one of the things that I've noticed screws Gondor is they'll just get warred from... Like, one of Sauron's vassals will declare war on Gondor, which means one of the other ones then declares war on Gondor, and Gondor's now fighting 2 different wars against vassals of Sauron, and it can't deal with it. The AI can't deal with fighting multiple wars at the same time. Whereas if it's only Sauron that could declare war on Gondor directly, you'd be fine. Because at least it's 1-on-1 each time, then, not vassal swarm. So yeah, you give Sauron absolute crown authority. Downside of that is it means that it removes the ability to play the fun stuff within the dominion of Mordor. But I suppose the way you could get around that is by giving them an event that allows them to trigger it, that only the player would take, that allows them to lower Sauron's crown authority. Yeah, these are impassable, so essentially as long as you hold Minas Tirith, if you do that, they've got to go all the way around. But there's only a few ways through. Oh, actually, you could do that. No, you could use that as a mechanism to do it. You'd give the player the ability to just get a strong hook on Sauron, and the player would know to use that hook for getting the ability to fight wars. So that would do it as well. Because we could actually absolutely do quite a fun run of just doing the same run we did there, but rather than pledging to Gondor off the bat, we pledge to Mordor. And then we take down Mordor from within. Isn't there a Gondor collapse event? Like, you could continue the other run we were doing and go, right, well, when Gondor collapses, we pledge to Sauron, and we quietly work out how to destroy Sauron from within. But he's still going to snowball his troop numbers, and you're just never going to catch up. You're just not going to be able to catch up. Is there traditional text? I mean, well, you've got the... So you do have in this, you've still got the kind of the innovations. But they don't make a huge... Like, wasn't really paying a huge amount of attention to them. But you do have them. Hey, I can beat Sauron as Denethor. As Gondor, I can beat Sauron. I guarantee you I can beat Sauron as Gondor. Allowing Sauron to only declare war and possess characters? Yeah, it would work. I get as well that, like, and this is why I think it's an incredible achievement what the mod is, because I get that you've got to work within the limits of what the code allows. Like, I reckon starting as Prince Andrathil here, I could probably pull it off. Sauron is supposed to, and it was only the fluke of ring between... No, I totally get that, but that's not going to make the game fun. Like, that's like playing... That's like playing Hoi 4 and leaving it on historical. It's like, well, Germany's going to declare war on France, England's going to come in on their side, Germany then declare war on Russia, they'll eventually lose. Yeah, we have no way of destroying the ring. Well, not that I've seen. Maybe there is. So I love a challenge. Like, this is literally why I play CK3. This is why I really like how close this mod is to pulling off something that gives me that in the Lord of the Rings setting. It's just that there's no... I don't see a way to survive unless you play as a major. But there's so much good flavour for not playing as a major. Like, I think that's this mod's real strength. It's brilliant at it. Like, the fact I could just do that ranger start and we had, like, really cool events and we got to form a kingdom and we could then... I want to be able to push on from there. They have an event game in chain for it to happen. Yeah, but then I don't have access to that as a player. Presumably there must be a way I gain access to that event chain, but I'm going to guess it involves me playing as Gondor or the Riddermark. I think the dev says they're aiming for that in like V5 and they're working on V3. Yeah, no, I mean, like, this is an incredible mod and it's a work in progress as well. And that does need to be remembered. But I just think even if it's just as a temporary thing, there needs to be some kind of, like we've talked about a bit, there needs to be some way to allow you to check the growth of Sauron if you're not playing as Gondor. So yeah, or there needs to be an event you can trigger or that pops up that goes, essentially, do you want a grim absolute fight for survival against an inevitably winning Dark Lord Sauron, which is cool, and I could totally do that sometimes and enjoy that. I.e., are you playing as a major, or do you want almost a bit like is it Shadows over frickin' Mordor, which is not a great game, but or do you want to go a bit alt historical with this? Do you want to go a bit alt Tolkien? Do you want to build your own stories? In which case we're going to limit Mordor more, so you've got time to do that. Because yeah, all I need is 40 years. 40 years before Mordor starts going. And I could do it. Like I think this is probably the most fun start you can probably do. So these actually allow you to kind of just, it flips you to the different areas you can start. So it just gives you different alternate offerings of interesting starts. So, you know, you could start over here as Wulfgar Bernson, you can go start Saruman, you could do Theoden. So it's just pinging you around, whereas in regular you've kind of got, it flips in different eras. This is just giving you different starting options on this, which is quite cool. Because yeah, I just suspect that the smallest start you can do is someone like, you can't start below King. You're too dependent on the AI not fucking up, and the AI will fuck up. The AI just fucks up, which isn't the mod's fault. It's just because the CK3 AI is not good at fighting wars when it needs allies to help. You play the smaller factions of the role to see how you're forced to react. Yeah, but then you get the problem that we had earlier when I was playing. Which is actually what that half times means, is you then suddenly find it's game over because Sauron's just declared for Harandor. So, like, the problem is you can build up a lot of low-level momentum, but the moment Sauron, well, turns his eye on you, or your bit of territory, he's just going to declare war on Gondor for you, and you've got no way of influencing that. And you don't transfer as a vassal to Sauron, you just get fucking eaten. I don't know if you were here for when I was chatting about, when I began this kind of chat about it. I think there's a number of ways you can do it, and I think the way you need the way it needs to be done is that just as much as Denethor has an option available to him to go down a path of destroying Mordor, there needs to be ways of saying, of players being able to send aid to Gondor when Gondor, the AI, is not doing well, or things you can fire that check Mordor's advance. I also just think stuff that slows down Sauron's ability to declare war is the issue. Like, Gondor never gets room to breathe, and that's totally fine if the player is Gondor, because I think the player needs that level of challenge, but the AI needs more time to breathe. So I think making it the way I do it right now, accepting that actually it's really complex to code mods like this and it's a huge achievement to do it, is I would limit the ability of Sauron's vassals to declare war unless they're the player. Because I think that would solve it, or it would stop it being a problem in the short term whilst the mod develops out down its later versions. Because the issue from watching it is that Gondor just gets slammed once it missteps once. It then gets slammed by the vassal wars from Sauron, or the vassals declare war to the south at the same time as Sauron's going to war with Gondor, which means you get that situation like we've got in the current one. Because all you need is time. Like, as the player, I've built Merlond by 3026. But Sauron's already too powerful. There's no one who's going to check Sauron as he is now. But Sauron didn't fight the wars for some of this kingdom. Frickin' Overlord Corahil did. And Sauron didn't fight half the wars for the stuff that got taken around here. His vassal over here did. And Lebanon is about to fall, because Sauron's been able to declare for Lebanon. Whereas if no one apart from Sauron was able to declare wars, the pace of that would have been much slower. And as someone suggested in chat, that doesn't mean you then have to stop the player having fun by playing if they choose to play as one of the evil miners. Because all they need to be able to do is get a hook on Sauron somewhere. They need a mechanism for a hook on Sauron so that they can fire the thing that allows them to start wars. And then it's solved. Like, oddly, our way out of this game now would be to gain independence from Gondor, pledge to Mordor, and then for us to eat on Gondor as well, and then try and deal with Sauron from the inside. What if the Orcish races, religions, cultures just can't declare war against their players? Yeah, I think there's probably a whole bunch of different ways to do it. But I think just as a temporary measure, while to give the mod developers the breathing room to carry on fleshing this out as a brilliant mod, because it is a brilliant mod, just some mechanism that stops Sauron's vassals declaring war would do it. It would give the player time to play as someone who isn't a major. And we'd get to this point now, and Gondor would still be in trouble. Because they've lost Minas Tirith. They'd have lost a few other wars. But the issue now isn't necessarily that Sauron's got 23k troops. It's that Aragorn's never going to have more than 10k now. And he's going to lose more. Whereas if he'd not lost a bit of this territory, or Sauron hadn't taken this, Mordor would still be floating at around just under 20k. He'd be floating at around sort of 15. And at that point, us joining in his wars with 3k would give us a fighting chance. And that becomes fun. So I don't think that's necessarily the long-term solution. I think there's lots of creative ways to do it more in the long term. But I just think it's a shame, because I think this is such a good mod. Like, the fact that I could do that, and the flavour behind it, and all the different units, it's amazing. I'm just never going to get a chance to use them, because I'm going to get eaten by Mordor. And it'll probably be me getting eaten by Mordor in a war that I don't even fight. Yeah, I think it's one of the finest mods in any Paradox game I've ever seen. I think it's spectacular. I just think it almost it kills me that you can't enjoy so much of that art right now. Like Umbar, the Tejin, Harazan, even Gondor, everyone else blobbing I can deal with. We've seen how we've dealt with them. There's just no mechanism for dealing with Mordor. What I might try and do is I might try and pull that together into some kind of just like one page type description-y thing that I can ping over to the devs. Because I don't want to be seen, it's not I want to sit here being a person who's complaining, it's not. I want this mod to be amazing, and it is already amazing, but I just think a lot of people are not going to get the chance to sample the lower level amazingness right now. Like, I don't even think it needs to be a compulsory limit on Mordor. You just have to give the player the option of saying, I'm starting as someone smaller and I need more time. I need Mordor to just have a one-off event that fires that means it's not allowed to declare. It loses half its ability to do to pick different casus bellis for X amount of time. Yeah, see the thing is, it's like Byzantium in vanilla, but the way you can deal with Byzantium in vanilla CK3 is just, as I've done on several streams, is you just culture flip them. You do, because you can always, if you can screw with the family, you can at least mean that you can create instability, which is what we were doing with Umbar and with Harazan, and it works. And I completely agree that you shouldn't be able to do that to Sauron, but because you've robbed the player of doing, because it robs the player of anything ability to do that, you don't have a pathway. Yeah, it just, there needs to be some way of keeping Mordor occupied. Or as I say, just a timer. If we were starting in 3030, and it was at that point that Mordor was expanding, Gondor would maybe fight a bit better. We'd now be at a point where we can feel like we're materially helping. And it would be really fun. But like, there's no help for Gondor from the north. They're certainly not going to get help from Umbar. It feels like Sauron is designed as a non-CK3 character, and that gives them a bunch of protections from CK3 mechanics that other characters don't get, plus the ability to use mechanics that everyone can. Yeah, I think you've nailed it absolutely there. I think that's exactly what it is that Sauron has way less ways to fail than all the other characters do. And the AI naturally will fail with those other characters, which is part of the glorious fun of CK3 and of this mod, is seeing how it plays out. Oh, you could absolutely overthrow Sauron. Totally could do. Well, I think by definition Sauron has to be designed to break the rules of CK3. Like, it totally makes sense that you do, because you don't want him dying, you don't want him being seduced, you don't want him being killed off. As I say, there is a way to kill him, but it's cheese, and you just... why would you do it? because that almost breaks the immersion too much. But you do need a way to just stick him back in his box for a while. You need an equivalent mechanism of Isildur in a last bit of desperation slicing off the one ring, which puts him back in his box temporarily. Like, you need minor betrayal events that you can use to just... that he just loses all... anything that isn't de jure to the Empire of Mordor gets dropped from him. And he can't declare war for 20 years. And for the next 20 years he gets a 50% hit on his levies. Yeah, the ring gets lost in those fucking boring marshes for 30 years. But yeah, so much promise in this mod, and hopefully they find ways of limiting it. But it does, it just feels right now that you got limited time to have fun as a miner. Because realistically, I don't think there's a lot we can push on and do. Especially given that everyone's got increased lifespans. Because, like, for example, there's the fun, we could absolutely take over Dol Amroth, and that was my original plan, was we take over theirs and then we get the Swan Knights, we've got our Rangers, we've boosted things, and we can go up and stand up against Mordor, but I just don't think we're going to have time to do it before Mordor swallows that up. Because Mordor's about to take the whole of frickin' Lebanon. And that means they'll have borders with Dol Amroth, and they'll probably just then immediately go for Dol Amroth. So yeah, just give me some way of slowing Sauron down when I'm not Gondor. And it can be optional for those who really want the hardcore challenge. Like the pure survival, it's fine. Like co-op, I could see this being really quite fun actually. If one of you played as the Riddermark and one played as Gondor, that would be really fun. Because then you've got legit player cooperation on armies. Is it really flavour for any realm to expand in a CK3 sense? Well, that's part of the thing. Is why this is not failing, but has a problem. Is that the CK3 is designed to prevent, vanilla is designed to prevent exactly this scenario from happening, because characters can die. And Sauron can't die. So when you think about it, character death is the biggest way that vanilla CK3 counteracts the tendency, that counteracts blobbing. And it works really well. Really well. But the moment you engineer out of Sauron the ability to die, you can't just give him percentage-based limits on things he can do, because eventually they just don't work. For the third age, there should be a ring event chain which can decide how quickly or even if the ring gets destroyed. Success as goodies speeds it up, as baddies slows it down. Yeah. Yeah, CK3 is a dynasty simulator. It's not a blobbing simulator. The problem for this is everyone else around, I'm pointing, you can't see, for every other nation in this mod, CK3, this game is still a dynasty simulator. But for Sauron, it's a blobbing simulator. And that means Sauron's blobbing, as long as he doesn't lose his first war with Gondor, is always a linear path upwards. Whereas for everyone else, they are floating along the way they should do. And so given that they've removed the primary mechanism for the game to naturally correct for that. Yeah, and some of Azajay don't die as well. Yeah, this is the problem with frickin' Overlord El Murazor here. Like, look, that's all his territory. He's conquered loads of that. Sauron didn't. Yes, Sauron has no mechanism for losing territory or getting smaller other than the player beating him in a fight. And that means if you start as a miner and go for the real cool flavour, you never hit a point where you can beat Sauron in a fight. So they just need to find a mechanism that will allow a player who's playing as a miner to inflict on Sauron the same type of event that happens when a player character dies. And they can absolutely make that optional. Because I think it's totally fair and just to go a game mode where you decide whether Sauron dies or not. Or like you say, like almost a game mode where you can say it is 100% guaranteed that the ring is going to get destroyed. Like regardless of whether the player, because I reckon you must have to play as Gondor to trigger the ring events. I don't know. But for some way as a miner to say I want the main thematic arc to continue, even though Gondor probably isn't pushing the right buttons as the AI to do it. Like just have a thing that goes within 20 years of the game starting, if Gondor hasn't achieved certain milestones, then the player has a decision that allows it to the player to force those things to happen, so that the player can carry on playing and have fun. And it can essentially just trigger, like you say, it triggers a fourth age, it triggers a new age. You know, at that point it does become the, well, what would have happened? You know, what are we not seeing in the because the books end? It's almost giving the player the ability to play beyond Tolkien and then let the strength of all the other stuff that's in the game, that's all the other stuff they've got in the mod, have time to breathe. And you could totally just turn around and go, look, it's exactly the same situation as before. Mordor shrinks right down and Sauron sits, the ring is lost again, and someone's going to find the ring at some point, and Sauron's going to regather his strength and come back. And all Sauron's sublords go independent as independent kingdoms, and that means they're going to fight against each other. And the orcs are going to die, so the orcs are not a problem. And Overlord Coril's going to die, so he gets replaced with someone mortal. And suddenly you have a game. So it is, I think that maybe that's the easiest way to do it. Maybe that is the way you do it. Is if you allow it to get to a certain point and you say, right, actually, do you just want to trigger the fall of Sauron? Or are you happy playing on for the challenge? Yeah, I think Fall of Sauron is a straight player decision. And that gives the people who really want... No, I don't think you take it any time. I think you can even lock it. I think it's totally... You kind of want to see... You want to see how it all plays out. Like, I know there's a Fall of Gondor event that we haven't seen. I'd love to see what that Fall of Gondor event is. Like, we'll probably see it here. I'm surprised we didn't see it already, because I thought it was meant to trigger when Minas Tirith fell. But, like, I'd love to see it, like happen. But I'd like to be able to play in that world beyond it. Without knowing that there's Sauron, infinite immortal Sauron with 30k to do it. Like, you could just very simply just lock it to a time. Well, I think you need to make it, and I can't remember how you can mod it in the background, whether you can set the AI having a percentage chance of taking a decision when it's available. If you could, you do that. You set the AI to have a 0% chance of ever taking the decision. And maybe what you actually do, I think, is you lock it. You could even theoretically lock it to an innovation, which the player is then going to know that they can research, and it's going to take them X amount of time to do it. So they can't take the decision before a certain date anyway. Or maybe you can just code it, so you say the decision's not available until 3030. So, like, it doesn't show up as a player decision, and you must play the first 30 years of the game and see how it goes. But it gives you an emergency brake on Mordor if you get 30 years into the game. Like, if we manage to survive to 3040, I think we should be allowed to push a button that says, okay, I now actually do want Mordor to collapse. Yeah, there you go, that's it. Lurking Dragon's got it. New innovation concerning hobbits. Spot on. Although I do like the idea of making it a strict time or things must have reached a certain point decision. Because otherwise you risk it being a thing that people could race for. So yeah, I think you just do that. I think that's how you do it. And it's just an emergency brake. It's an emergency brake the player can pull to say, there's no way back for the powers of good in this. I don't want to spend the rest of this run grinding out my slow and gradual inevitable death. I want to pull the button that essentially balkanizes Mordor. And then you can have a timed event that fires, let's say, 150 years later, which is Sauron coming back and then rebuilding his strength again. It also encourages player to hang in there when things are going badly to give the hope spot. But that's it. It's obviously, which is film canon, not book canon. Essentially, what you need is Sam's freaking speech about, like, in the great stories how people carry on because there's always hope. There is a point in this game right now with this mod where there isn't hope, and what you need is a button that puts hope back into the game, even if it's temporary. So if you want to play the hardcore Gondor, go through the full really nice event chain that's in here for the death of Mordor, you can do it. But if you've started like we have as a miner down here and you're really enjoying the flavour and you want to just enjoy the flavour of the world, which is so incredible, you've got a reset button on Mordor. And yeah, you call it a decision called Concerning Hobbits. You can't take it before 3030. It's not takeable if Gondor has completed the event chain to actually fire the Fellowship. And what it does is it kills Lord Sauron. Or you could game mechanic it to just imprison him somewhere, which essentially is equivalent of him falling and being fallen and then having to get back. And then you have another event that allows him to escape with an increasing likelihood over time as his strength builds back up. Something like that. Depends how complex you want to be with it. But I think the simple short-term version would be, yeah, you just give the player the ability to go, right, Sauron's just died. Let's see what happens next. Because then you're going to get some awesome Orc Wars kick in, and does someone else manage to rise to do it, but they're not going to get to the same level, and you're going to get... it would be just good. Anyway. Yeah, give him a non-landed title that has an event decay timer for him to return. I think that's it. That's what you need. Like, I've particularly enjoyed what we've done today with this. Especially like how close we came to actually managing to technically win wars against both Mordor or whatever by just changing the bits. No, I don't think it should work if you're his vassal. I think it should only be available to non-Mordor vassals. I think if you're playing as Sauron's vassal, you want everything to collapse around you, and then you may be taking me over from within, and that's a different mechanism. It's just more for, I'm playing somewhere out here in the rest of the world, and I want to be able to enjoy all of the flavour. And again, you could probably get away with playing down here and never have to use it. But if you want to play anywhere up here, you just need a nerf on him. You just need to go, yeah, Hobbits. Hobbits did a thing. Can I get on with playing in the cool world now? And give me Sauron problems again in 150 years. Like, my great-grandkids should have Sauron problems. But yeah, anyway. And I think that's one of the other problems, is because of all the lifetime boosts, you remove from the player so many of the mechanisms within CK3 that make CK3 interactions manageable. Which again, I totally get and is totally relevant for the mod. And maybe the hope was that that in itself would be enough to counter Sauron, the Empire Fall mechanic bits, but that's just the way it is. And you know, that's fair enough. Yeah, no, as I say, it's just, I just think it's just the way it is. But it's really close to it, and I think they will get it right. And I will try and write up what we've just talked about there as a suggestion. To just say there needs to be an emergency brake you can pull on Sauron if you want to enjoy the lower flavour. Just make it so that there's a thing the player can do that goes, yeah, Hobbits happened. Let's move on.